Hey everyone, my name is Jaden Watkins, and I would like to welcome you to this economic update. Today we're diving into the latest on the U.S. economy, where things stand with unemployment, economic growth, inflation, and the current account balance of the United States. Many question if we're heading in the right direction, or are there warning signs we should be paying attention to. By the end of this discussion, you'll have a clear picture of what's happening and what it can mean for all of us, whether you're a business owner, a worker, or just someone trying to make sense of the economy. So let's break it down. Starting with unemployment rate, the unemployment rate in the U.S. sitting right now is 4.0%, which is pretty low compared to historical levels. A few months ago, it was slightly higher, but job growth has been steady, especially in industries like healthcare, retail, and social services. However, hiring has started to slow down, with only 77,000 private sector jobs added last month, a sign that business might be getting cautious, possibly due to recent trade tensions and economic uncertainty. Bottom line, the job market is still strong, but there are signs of slowdown. Now on to economic growth. The economy grew at 2.3% in the last quarter of 2024, which is slower than the 3.1% growth we saw in the third quarter. A growth rate between 2 to 3% is generally considered healthy, but the slight slowdown can indicate that the economy is losing momentum. One of the big factors is trade tensions. The U.S. has been in a back-and-forth tariff battle, and that's making businesses hesitant to invest. If this continues, we could see slower growth in the coming months. So we're still in an expansion phase, but things are definitely cooling off. Next, we have the troubling topic of inflation. Right now, inflation is sitting at 3.5% over the past year, which is a bit higher than the Federal Reserve's 2% target. This means prices are rising and people are feeling it, whether it's at the grocery store, the gas pump, or when shopping for essentials. The big question is, should the Feds do something about it? If inflation keeps creeping up, they might raise interest rates to slow things down, but that could also make borrowing more expensive, which would affect everything from home loans to credit cards. So far, inflation isn't out of control, but is definitely something we need to keep an eye on as a country. As our last topic of the day, we have the U.S. current account. The U.S. is currently running a current account deficit of 4.2% of GDP, gross domestic product, meaning we're importing more than we're exporting. This isn't necessarily bad, but it can mean that the U.S. consumers and businesses have strong demand but a growing deficit, which could raise concerns about borrowing too much money from other countries. It all depends on how this deficit is financed. If it's funding productive investments, that's one thing, but if it's just piling up debt, it could become a severe problem. As a result, I just wanted to add some final thoughts. Number one, the job market is still solid, but hiring is definitely slowing down, which is something to watch for in the upcoming months. Number two, economic growth is cooling off, meaning we could be heading toward a period of slower expansion or even a mild recession. Number three, inflation is still high above our target rate, meaning interest rates might stay high above for a while, making borrowing more expensive. Number four, the U.S. trade deficit continues, which isn't necessarily bad, but it could create a long-term risk if it keeps growing. What does this mean for everyday people? If you're looking for a job, opportunities are still there, but hiring might slow down, so it's a good time to build your skills and be prepared. If you're thinking about buying a house or taking out a loan, interest rates are high and might stay that way for longer than expected. If you're running a business, consumer spending is shifting, so staying flexible is key. Overall, the economy is not in crisis mode, but it's definitely at a turning point. The next 6 to 12 months will be crucial in determining whether we see a continued slowdown, a mild recession, or a return to a stronger growth. That's it for today's update, and thank you for tuning in.